everybody, welcome back to Chill Vibes Only. Today we are going to be talking about somewhat of a personal subject, but something that I feel is not talked about nearly enough, especially between women, and I think it is super important to our mental health, creating and fostering self-love, and just overall living and feeling our best. So today's video is actually about conscious masturbation and becoming more in tune and familiar with your body and having orgasms and solo sex and also sex with partners, and personally just what I have been working on in my own sexual life and experience to improve my sex life and also just improve the relationship with myself. So I want to start off with this video with just talking about why I believe this is important to discuss with you guys and why I want to share. First and foremost, I just find that I have these conversations on Instagram stories sometimes and also with my girlfriends in my real life, and everybody's always so keen to talk about it, just nobody wants to start the conversation. And me personally, I'm like always listening to podcasts, reading books, different articles, listening to other women talk about their sexual experiences and masturbation and sex and orgasms because it fascinates me. And so I am here just to share my personal experience and my story in case it might help one of you guys and spark a conversation that will also give you guys more sexual agency over your life and maybe foster a little bit more of a healthier relationship with yourself and your sex life. So why do I masturbate and why do I think everybody should masturbate? First of all, masturbation I feel like is kind of, I don't feel like it's a taboo word for me at all anymore, but it definitely was, especially like university, high school. I was actually probably masturbating since I was a kid, but had no idea that I was masturbating. Like I had no idea what it was. I just thought that I unlocked like some cool secret tool, and nobody ever taught me or talked to me about it, which is why I'm kind of sharing here. It wasn't until later on in my like late teens that I realized what I was actually doing and what masturbation was. Since learning more about masturbation and making it part of like my daily or weekly wellness routine and mental health routine and just kind of like self-love routine, it's really made me feel better. It's made me have more of a positive relationship with my body, and also made me enjoy my sexual experiences with other partners more as well, because I learned with myself first how to orgasm and what types of stimulation give me orgasms. I think it's important to learn how to have an orgasm yourself first and have a lot of really good solo sex before you embark on a sexual experience with a partner, because you want to really understand your body and feel super comfortable in your body before adding in all these other factors. And so that's why I want to talk about conscious masturbation today, and just understanding how to kind of get into our bodies more and be more mentally there and aware of what is going on and happening, instead of getting distracted and kind of losing our focus or thinking about other things. So first and foremost, why masturbate in general? Actually helps boost your immunity, surprisingly. So right now, definitely a great time to be masturbating. There's no harm in that. It is good for your mental health. It's also good to help increase your self-confidence. I find that being with my body in an intimate setting makes me love it and appreciate it more, and just kind of helps foster that self-loving relationship. And lastly, masturbating and having an orgasm by yourself and practicing that can help you better understand your body, so in the future when you're having orgasms with another person or a partner's involved, you can better communicate what you like, what you dislike, and what you need from that partner from a confident, sure place, versus kind of not really knowing your body or what you're into and what you need to have an orgasm. So that's kind of reasons why you should masturbate. And then conscious masturbation is more about actively setting aside a time and making it part of like a routine and a ritual for you, so your body gets prepared and ready for the way that is going to make you feel most comforted, supported, and ready to have an orgasm. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I'm having sex or solo sex, my brain can go off onto like a bunch of different tangents. So I'm thinking about my grocery list, I'm thinking about work, I'm thinking about the thing I have to do next week. And it's kind of like I'm back on my yoga mat and my brain's just going all over the place. And it's really about kind of bringing you back into the moment, back into the sensations, back into your body, so you can fully experience having an orgasm. And when I practice conscious masturbation versus when I'm just masturbating and not really paying attention, or not really feeling into the sensations and the parts of my body and also my visual cues in my mind, my orgasms are like 10,000 times better through conscious masturbation versus regular masturbation. And it's just because I'm experiencing it more and I'm opening myself up more to the experience because I'm consciously making an effort to, and it's not something that's just like, oh, I'm just doing this to do this. It's really well thought out, and it helps keep me more conscious again when I'm having sex or a sexual experience with another partner. How to consciously masturbate. This is something that's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but I always want to start off by saying that you're going to set the mood. So this is a yoga channel, I'm bringing this back to yoga, but realistically, if I'm going to teach a yoga class or if I'm going to practice yoga myself, I'm going to set up my environment so it's in the most optimal setting for me to fully relax and engage in that activity. So for example, I would dim the lights, I would put on a diffuser or a candle, I might play some music, I might make myself a cup of tea, I might stretch or do some sort of like relaxing activity before I'm about to masturbate. Some of my favorites are exactly what I just listed. I'll put on my diffuser, I might do a little yoga class before, I dim the lights, I light a candle potentially, I have a cup of tea before, I make sure that my vibrator is fully charged. That's another thing, it's a constant running joke of mine, but I have had my vibrator die on me when I'm like peak best orgasm of my life, and it's not a fun experience. So definitely make sure everything's charged and make sure you set up your environment so you're not stressed, you're not thinking about anything else, everything's ready and right there to go. So that's the first thing you want to do, is set up that environment. And then when it comes to conscious masturbation, I always like to start by first visualizing myself alone in a safe, grounding, comfortable place. So for me personally, it's maybe I'm in a jungle or by the beach or the water and I'm comfortable and I feel strong and sexy, and I start to envision and visualize that in my head, and then I will slowly start to begin to masturbate. Everybody's different about what they like. I would just kind of go down there, touch some things, feel it around, play with your clit, see what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good to you, and just experiment and play around. Every body's different, every vagina is different, so what I like is not necessarily going to be what you like. I do recommend using a vibrator just because it kind of takes a lot of the work off of you. So I've talked before about the womanizer on this channel. That's the vibrator I use. I'll link it down below. Highly recommend. It's a really affordable, great tool that can help you out. So while you are touching yourself, you want to think about kind of flopping back and forth between your visuals, so where you are and what type of environment you're making for yourself to stimulate yourself, and then also think about where you're touching yourself and actually tune into that sensation and feeling. So try to not think about your laundry list or whatever, you're thinking about that actual spot that you're touching and you're engaged in that sensation. Just like in yoga class, when you're in a posture or pose and we're focusing on our breath, we're focusing on our body, the sensations that come up, you want to use those similar tools that you learn in yoga while you're masturbating to keep it a conscious activity. So I kind of go back and forth. I have obviously a visual that I've created in my head of an experience that turns me on personally and makes me feel good. I always try to make sure it's an empowering visual. It's something that is safe and comforting and sensual, because consciously, like, you want to get to that kind of safe place, and I want you guys to feel empowered in whatever you are, whatever's stimulating you. But like I said, every person is different. What stimulates me is definitely not going to stimulate you, so, or it might not. So just kind of playing around with that in your head. But those are the two things that you should be thinking about. One, the visual in your head of whatever's that situation or experience is that's making you feel sexy, strong, confident, empowered. You can be by yourself, you can be with someone else, you can be in a specific place, but just kind of see what works for you. And then the second big thing is really being conscious about the sensations and where you're touching. And if your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to either one of those two. By doing that, you're starting to practice how to be a conscious masturbator and a conscious person while you're in sexual experiences. So it's funny, but practice does make perfect, and I do think that practicing conscious masturbation is going to make you better at having orgasms solo sex, and then also better when you have orgasms with a partner, because you're practicing how to stay in the moment, how to stay in those sensations, how to cue those body features, and keep yourself engaged because you're thinking about that, and you have this person there with you, and you kind of know those sensations and feelings that you're looking for. You can better communicate that to them. You can do it yourself as well. And so I just find that when we make an active effort to make that an experience and not just a random 5-minute thing before bed that you're not setting up. I'm not saying that those 5-minute orgasms aren't good orgasm. I think every orgasm is a great orgasm. But I think if you make this a part of your self-love and self-care routine and your mental health routine, at least once a week, I honestly would recommend it once a day if you can. I don't think there's anything wrong with masturbating every day. Just like brushing your teeth, I think it's great for your body, great for your immunity. But I think cultivating this conscious masturbation practice is really going to help you connect more with your body, make you feel good, and also just, improve your sexual experiences both solo and with partners. So conscious masturbation is something I've been doing for the last 3 or so months. I've really been enjoying it. It's completely changed the way that I masturbate, and it becomes more of like a kind of self-care, little treat, just like a face mask or having a nice hot shower. So I highly recommend you guys try it out. If you have been consciously masturbating, let me know what you do and what you think of it, and if it's helped you. If you've never heard this term before and you have questions, feel free to leave a comment below or DM me. I love when I hear you guys reach out to me and talk about this stuff, because I think these are conversations that we should be having as women, and I think that this is stuff that we kind of, felt a little bit shameful about before, or didn't really talk about it, or it was kind of taboo. And I definitely feel a shift, definitely in my relationships with my friends and family, and also online, that people are talking about this way more. And I just want to start a conversation here on ChillVibezOnly, because I want this to be a safe space where women can come and discuss these topics. So if you guys have anything else you want to add or share, feel free to drop it in the comments below or DM me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe, because that really helps my channel. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all soon.